Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As you can tell, it is evening for me. It is currently, I think, 11 o'clock. And I decided that instead of going to bed, I'm going to do some sewing because recently I haven't really been going to sleep until about 1 or 2 a.m. But that's whatever. So in today's video, I decided that while I wait for my fabric to come in for my obi, I am going to try and get rid of a lot of bundles of fabric that I currently have. I have about 4 bundles of fabric that were my mother's and that I was going to use for myself, and I haven't gotten around to do it, so I am going to do it now. So I think this is just going to be a collection of using the fabric till I can't use it anymore, and that's going to be with a lot of these fabrics that I've already had ideas for some, but for this one it really just sparked my interest and sparked my need to get back into sewing. With that being said, I am planning on doing cosplay, more cosplay walkthroughs eventually. I just have to figure out what I'm going to do because the next ones that are coming up is going to be Princess Tiana, and I just don't know how I'm going to produce that yet. But until then, I'm going to be working on getting rid of all of these bundles of yards of fabric. I did not know what my mother's intentional plans were for these, but I'm thinking for this I want to make a skirt and a pair of pants, and if there's anything left I'll probably make a top for the skirt, but I don't know yet. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I've already gone through and did the waistband. I'm not really a fan of wide waistbands like this. Not sure why, it just doesn't, I feel as though with my figure it doesn't look right, but I think this size waistband would be okay. So I already did the cut out the waistband, and I did a little bit of stay stitching here. That's what this is called, right? Stay stitching. Yeah, I did some stay stitching, and I'm going to do a side zipper, maybe a side zipper, maybe a back zipper. I haven't really decided, but the waistband is done. I've also already cut out and hemmed the skirt part, which if you want to know how to do what I'm about to do, I basically just doubled it and the size of my waist, so that when I go and pin it onto the waistband, the skirt will have not a ruffle but a pinned look. I'm going for the schoolgirl type skirts, and I've come to be fond of those type of skirts, but the dilemma is, of course, I live in Japan, so not most of the skirts that are out there I can't fit, which is why I'm glad I know how to sew so I can make my own. And I'm also glad that that my mom had this type of fabric left over, so I'm basically doing this for free. Which is why I love that I know how to sew, because having this type of knowledge and having these type of materials, it makes things so much better. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. However, before I get into that, I just want to hop on my soapbox and say, fast fashion, I am a true hater of it. I am a true hater of it. I know I say I like to shop on Shein and things of that nature, but I truly believe, go to your thrift store first. Go to your local thrift store. Go to your local flea market. Go to your local estate sale. And I promise you, half the things that you want we'll be at that flea market. We'll be at that thrift store. We'll be at that estate sale. Please do that instead of going to Shein. Or if you want to learn how to make your own clothes, I strongly advise you to do it. If it's not through me, through someone else, but it's best that you do it because then you can find your own unique style. Okay, you can find your own unique thing. Okay, even if it's as simple as doing a schoolgirl type schoolgirl type skirt. Even if it's that, a pleated skirt. That's what I wanted to say. A pleated skirt. Even if it's that, learn how to sew. Learn how to be more resourceful and look out for your things because fast fashion is going to eat us all one day. It really is. It actually already is. But having the knowledge or using your resources, because I know some people may see it as, oh, it's cheap to do, you're going to be looked at as poor. But I'm like, I would rather spend $5 on a shirt to make it look like $50 than to go and buy a $50 shirt within 2 weeks or within the summer, the end of summer, I'm not gonna like. So I do say, use your resources, learn to sew, okay? Because then you can inevitably be making yourself a free skirt. Who knows? But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Like I said before, I'm not gonna do a lot of talking. But if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about what I'm making, you can always put it down in the comments and I'll try my best to answer because I'm not good with answering things. So, cool. Just want to stop the time lapse for a moment. And I know I said, I'm not going to really do much of talking because I'm not really good at talking. But for some people who want to make a schoolgirl style or a pleated skirt similar to this one, this is the way that I am doing it. So first off, I would start the way I'm starting. I take 1 inch off, so that's for the seam allowance as well as the zipper that I'm going to add, and I'm going to do that on both sides just so that it is symmetrical in the end. And with that being said, as far as the pleats go, I do it every inch. So every inch, I will measure it and then add it or fold it inwards and then pin it. As you can see, then I will pin it. And then after I have pinned it, I will measure from the pin to the other side, and that is where I'm not sure what this part is called, but that is kind of like where the space of it is going to be. So it's going to be a 1 inch space, and from that 1 inch space, so I've measured about 1 inch. And from that inch, I'm going to measure another inch and then fold it in again. Okay, make sure it's flat so that when you sew it, everything is flat and neat. and then you pin it. Okay, and then you continue on all the way. I need to actually get myself an iron because with these pleated skirts, if they are not ironed and starched properly, it will not come out right at all, no matter how well I sew it. But eventually what I am going to do is I'm going to do a stay stitch across this, and with my waistband I'm going to sew it onto my waistband and finish up the skirt. But we will go back to the time lapse. Alright, so it is technically the next day, but that's whatever. So I finished most of the skirt. Now all I have to do is add on the zipper, and I'm probably not going to showcase this or wear it out yet because I need to find an iron and some good starch, because while I have the pleats, it doesn't flow through the whole thing. It doesn't show through the whole thing. I have a steamer, but I don't think it'll give the same effect as an iron and really pressing into it. So hopefully, I'm hoping that the thrift store still has the iron that I saw, which that's a big hope. But if they do have it, I'll purchase that along with an ironing board and some starch to really keep those pleats in. But yeah, she's almost done. And I really like the way it turned out because you can see it here that the lines kind of went with each other. I didn't mean to do that. It just happened, but I'm actually pretty happy that it happened. But yeah, now we're gonna add on zipper, which I hate. I initially wanted to do a elastic, but I realized that a lot of my elastic skirts, they slide up when I walk, and I don't want to do that because this is a pretty short skirt on me, not a mini skirt, but a short skirt on me, so I don't want it to ride up when I wear it. But yeah, that is the goal. That is the goal for the next couple of minutes, is to add the zipper. I forgot what I was going to say about the mini skirts. So when it comes to mini skirts or skirts with elastic, I do like adding elastic, but I only add elastic at the bottom, especially if they're like pencil skirts, kind of, because it keeps it from riding all the way up. I don't like putting it at the top because while it does help, hug the my shape and keep it from, while it does hug my shape and allow me to wear it easily, it still rides up, which is what I don't like. So when it comes to the pleated skirt, I'm just going to add a zipper, and hopefully it should be okay. But yeah, zipper time. But other than that, I am going to go ahead and add the zipper, as well as, because I've always wanted to basically add my own tag when I make my clothes. My mom has had these old tags, so I'm going to add one of these to it. And yes, it isn't my name, but I'm still going to use it because it's close enough. But I'm going to add the zipper along with one of these tags, and yeah. like I said, I don't have any starch or an iron, so it's not pleated as much. And I did add the tag on the back. One thing I didn't realize till now is that this is not an invisible zipper. So it is going to show, but I think it's okay because it goes with the accent color, the black, so it's not that much of a deal. I also added a button at the top, so it looks a little bit better. Or it looks, with the zipper, it looks a little bit put together. But other than that, it's all done. I do have to clean it up a bit with the thread hanging and that, everything of that nature, but she's done. So now we are going to move on to the pan.